Congresswoman Edwards and members of the committee. Thank you for inviting me to answer your questions on suborbital research investigations regarding decision metrics, infrastructure and capability requirements, student involvement, and future directions for suborbital research. Regarding the questions on decision metrics, I'd like to point out that scientific peer review panels are assembled for NASA, are assembled by each of the 4 science divisions, geospace, heliophysics, planetary, and astrophysics, to conduct research from suborbital platforms. Panels look for some way cool advancement of their scientific capabilities that is enabled by some new technology, and they seek to build a technically adept workforce. Relevance to overall NASA strategic plan is a requirement. For a heliophysics investigation, it might be a new high-resolution imager, or for astrophysics, it might be a device that can image planets about nearby stars. My own work, we're building a new high-efficiency far-ultraviolet spectrograph that is 6 times more sensitive than anything we've flown before and can observe more than 40 targets at once in the area of the size of the moon. To pass muster of the highly oversubscribed peer review, there has to be some capability of the chosen vehicle, usually the altitude, which provides the only way to do the research. If you can do it from the ground, you're not going to fly it on a sounding rocket. Regarding suborbital infrastructure and capabilities, the commercially operated launch provider, NASROC, run by Orbital Sciences, with oversight from the NASA Sounding Rocket Project Office, provides a stable of 11 different launch vehicles to experimenters picked by peer review. They also provide a host of very mature modular subsystems to provide missile flight safety, D-spin and separation, high-speed telemetry, attitude control, recovery, fine pointing, and command uplink for real-time control of the payload. Experimenters have access to full integration and test facilities at Wallops in Virginia, including ground stations, shaker tables, spin balance, and moments of inertia measurements. In addition, the NASROC Sounding Rocket Project Office hosts project management reviews, and all these things are necessary to ensure that things will be carried out safely. The message is one size doesn't fit all, as we heard earlier. Some experimenters want to fly as high and as long as they can. Some want to fly tailored trajectories at specific altitudes. It all depends on the science. For our observations, I require a vehicle that will provide 400 seconds of time above 100 kilometers with a precision real-time pointing system so the student can make target adjustments during flight. Student participation in sounding rocket research is a long-standing hallmark of the program. Some would argue it's the most important product. Students become an integral part of the science and technology they develop. They work in an apprentice-mentor relationship with senior researchers, where much know-how is passed on in an oral form from one generation to the next, much like a guild of old spaceship builders. And there's the slide of an example. In our astrophysics program, we emphasize hands-on experience with optics, mechanics, electricity, magnetism, vacuum systems, computer program, data acquisitions, design, testing, calibration, integration, troubleshooting, mission planning, communication, and publication of results. Within the short tenure of a graduate student, they become scientists with a fundamental regard for systems engineering and are highly prized by the aerospace community. Many of the PhD and undergraduate students go on to fill key roles in the development of instrumentation for a host of space-based missions. However, as of late, the number of sounding rocket students receiving PhDs has fallen, as the displayed example shows. It is directly correlated with the decreasing number of launch opportunities over the past 40 years and symptomatic of a reduced production of technically adept leadership. Regarding future challenges and opportunities, the challenge for developing reusable suborbital vehicles as meaningful research platforms will be to identify those appropriate niche markets, both commercial and scientific, where a human-in-the-loop or an in-situ access module provides some unique capability that will pass muster of the peer review. From my perspective, the current crop of reusable vehicles on the books falls well short of our requirements. My astrophysics sounding rocket colleagues and I agree that generating new funding opportunities to advance the core capabilities of the expendable sounding rocket community are more likely to generate meaningful scientific, technical, and programmatic impact for future space-based missions run by NASA, DoD, and even private concerns. There is a logarithmic gap in the launch portfolio between $3 million it costs to develop a sounding rocket and $200 million it costs to launch an Explorer mission. The missing piece is a commercial launch capability in the $10 million range that is capable of placing 250 to 500 kilograms into low Earth orbit, such as the Virgin Galactic Launcher 1 or the Falcon 1 from SpaceX. Establishing this capability can reduce risk and cost for future Explorer and flagship missions through reduced development times for increasing technology readiness levels, and most importantly, by expanding the technically adept workforce. There's no substitute for experience. Expanding the suborbital program and filling the logarithmic gap in the launch portfolio is key to maintaining our leadership in space science. Thank you.